Year's Eve Fight Magnet. Please welcome Scott Curtner.
Thanks, Shauna. Some of you may have heard this story before, but I know some of you haven't. Somehow, some way, my wife and I have become New Year's Eve fight magnets. Yes, that sounds strange. For example, when we first started dating, 3 months into it, she invited me out to a New Year's Eve party. Long story short, we went to a bar. A guy was being a real jerk. And I stealthily bribed the bouncer $20 to kick the guy out. The guy was in our party, unfortunately, and when the bouncer kicked him out, everybody was like, "Oh, we gotta follow Joe Blowout, oh no!" I was sitting at the bar drinking my drink, like, "Oh, I really don't want to go out there." But I was beckoned, and I went outside, and the guy was harassing some girl, and my wife noticed it and went up to the guy and said, "Hey, you shouldn't bug her." And the guy came up to me and said, "Hey, your girlfriend's a real beep." He didn't say beep. And I said, "Oh man, come on, it's okay." And he pushed me. And I was, "Oh, don't push me, come on, it's okay. You're really drunk, okay? Don't push me." And he pushes me. And I'm like, okay. My 6 years of rugby prior kicked into gear, and I ducked down to uppercut the guy in a place that would knock him out. But before I could do that, all of a sudden, over my head, I feel someone come up behind me and over my head, and I see this flurry of fists just hitting the guy in the face. And it's my wife-to-be girlfriend at the time, Jill. She broke her carpal bone on his face. The doctors call it a barroom fracture. She has a slightly deformed hand today. And that was in 2001. New Year's Eve. So, fast forward a few more years, we have one kid, we send the kid off to a babysitter. We go out to a New Year's Eve club, big, multi-story club with my sister and her very wealthy boyfriend. And we have a VIP couch and a table where you say you pay a lot of money. You pay like $1 billion for a bottle of vodka, and you get to sit at this table. So we're sitting at this table. The night goes on. We have a fantastic night. I meet this really neat young married couple. Then the guy is this cool looking dancer, and he has these awesome dance moves. And I had taken a little bit of hip hop class at the time, so I had a lot of respect for this guy. He was really good. I was talking to him towards the end of the night. It's about 1:30 in the morning, and I noticed that this drunk couple who wasn't part of our group comes and sits at our very expensive table. And it's a guy and a girl, and the girl sits right next to my wife. And I'm across the room, and I see my wife lean over and say, something to the effect I could see, like, this is a reserved seat, you guys don't belong here. And the girl kind of gave this motion, and did sort of that thing, actually sitting like right next to her. And then I noticed that the couple is sort of arguing with each other too. Oh my gosh, how disturbing. And I see my wife lean over to my sister and say something to the effect like, "Can you believe these people?" And just then, I'm still talking to the guy and his wife, and he's like, "Hey, the bar is going to close in a few minutes. You guys want to come to an after party with us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know, sounds good." He's like, "Well, now you have to ask your wife this specifically because it's an Eyes Wide Shut party." How many of you in the room are familiar with the movie Eyes Wide Shut? Okay, not everybody. Well, how do I describe it? I, at the time, was not familiar with the movie either. It's a movie with Nicole Kidman and that guy, Tom Cruise. And they go to these parties where they do kind of lavacious things. And I didn't really know that. So, but all of a sudden, I see this girl sucker punch my wife from behind. My wife's turned away, and I see the girl go, boom, hit her in the face. And my wife she doesn't think. She gets up and she just chases the girl. The girl runs away. I see my wife catch up to the girl. The girl grabs my wife's very expensive hair and throws out the air. Her hair flying up. I gotta go. And I run and I get in between them. I jostle around. And then I notice that I'm face to face with the girl's boyfriend. And I think, oh, good, he's helping me. No, he's not helping me. He goes, hey, buddy, you got a problem? You want some? And he pushes me. I'm like, time slows down. My 6'2" brawler brother is right over my shoulder. Good. My sister's boyfriend, who grew up gang fighting in the Bronx, is working his way behind the guy. Like, I'm in a good position to do something fun here. So, I grab the guy. He's taller than me. I grab the guy by the head, and I launch myself into his face with a headbutt. I was aiming for the nose, but I only got him in the mouth, so I didn't get the effect that I wanted, and he kind of was dazed a little bit. And then he reaches back his arm to hit me, and my sister's boyfriend puts him in a half Nelson, the arm, around the head and around the neck. He's got his arm back here like that. And this is cool. And 2 bouncers grabbed me. They pulled me off. And then I see them go to the floor with a ground shaking thud. They fall to the floor, and then people are diving in. The guy's girlfriend dives into the pile. Bouncers dive into the pile. And the bouncers are holding me, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm not gonna fight you. I go limp, I'm like, you guys can hold me if you want, but I'm done, And then I see my brother walk up to the pile. He's a big guy. He's looking in there, all people jostling around, and he sticks his hand into. You ever see like Peanuts? When Peanuts in the Peanuts cartoons, and you see they pile up and you can't see, you just see maybe an arm sticking out and there's a lot of dust and stuff. He sticks his hand into that pile and he pulls out Jeff, my sister's boyfriend, and they walk out like this. So, because my wife and I have somehow become New Year's Eve fight magnets, we no longer go out to public places on New Year's Eve. Instead, we prefer to stay home with our children. Back to you, Marissa.
Very entertaining. I will have to see you guys dressed up as a WWW couple or F couple.